To sacrifice a loved one or pet, press the pound key.
Welcome to a specially remastered edition of the Drew and Luke podcast. I'm Andrew Luke and there is only one of me. This show appears under the engine of patreon.com/Andy Luke, which allows me a wage. Hello audience there. Today we're going to be looking at the first bulk of Series 5 of Angel the Vampire series. Series 5 has at core themes of being all grown up with a powerful job and taking charge of the consequences you set off in the world. This series is, for the most, like a new show with a mostly self-contained structure and a wonderful freshness. Because of budgeting constraints at the Andrew Lucas estate, I'm breaking this into 2 episodes. I'll try to avoid spoilers in the first, but those will inevitably creep in. Angel was put together by Mutant Enemy Productions, aka Joss Whedon, but more accurately draws from that talent pool of writers, actors, directors, filmographers, and other crew who made Buffy, Firefly, and Dollhouse. So here's the pitch. A vampire with a soul who ran an LA detective agency out of a haunted hotel pits their wits time and again against Wolfram and Hart, a law firm which represents the ultimate evils in the universe. And when the detectives accidentally end world peace, thinking it's the apocalypse, easy to mistake to make, I know, the lawyers surrender and offer People's Champion Angel the job of CEO of the firm's main branch.
Figured you'd like to stay mobile, what with all that rushing out to save the day you're so fond of.
Thanks, but I already have a car.
Now you have 12.
It really is the definition of hybrid genre. Supernatural detective horror comedy lawyer show. Angel Season 5 actually repilots with the final episode of Season 4, the first of 3 pilots. Home has part emphasis on Connor, Vampire Angel's time-traveling teenage son and seriously unhinged psychopath. He's dead set on getting through the worst adolescence by going on a killing spree. His own child brought the world to its knees and the mother is in a coma. So the worst case of zits. Wolfram and Hart offer Angel a chance to solve these problems.
Mr. Angel, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Angel.
Good morning, Mr. Angel.
Morning, Mr. Angel.
There's no way this is gonna go well.
Written and directed by Tim Minier, Home is economical with introducing characters, obstacles, and solutions. Angel is a brooding, angry old man with a side of him that's too gentle and cutely shy. Where Buffy is a teenager of some certainty, Angel is 250 years old and not sure of his place in the world. He's a lunkhead, anxious, sometimes quite dim. His number 2 was Wesley, guardian, king of bookworms, former klutz turned die-hard dirty Harry. Wesley is on the outs with the others, especially Charles Gunn, a street-smart vampire hunter full of muscle and temper. There's an awkward, uncomfortable group dynamic after Wesley helped break up Gunn's relationship with Winifred Fred Burkle, a great physicist who they rescued from a hell dimension and who fulfills the role as Angel's surrogate little sister. And Lorne, fan favourite, played by charming Vegas singer Andy Hallett. Lorne is an empath demon and Angel's conscience from when they first met in Lorne's karaoke bar. You see, Lorne has the ability to read people's souls through hearing them sing, a very useful skill when you have a staff of several hundred who are firmly on the evil end of the spectrum. As legal entertainment manager, Lorne will have the Hollywood elite on his books. And scientist Fred learns Wolfram and Hart's offer means she'll no longer scrawl on walls, but work with a well-funded lab and full staff.
We actually have a dungeon. I could show it to you later.
There's also the added character twist that makes a series stand alone. Connor is given a new life, a new family, and a new place in the universe by powerful sorcery forming the universe anew around him. He doesn't remember his old life, and no one but his father and Wolfram and Hart's sorcerers remember him. The group's tensions, all linked to Connor, vanish and cool in a tabula rasa reset. Convictions by Joss Whedon kicks a new series off properly, leaves behind the dark, dank hotel for a bright, modern business with suits and ties. It opens with one of Joss Whedon's hallmark 3-minute one-shots, introducing everyone, their roles and aims, quickly establishing the questions lingering over them now. If your people were bank robbers and child snatchers, if you were linked to every criminal element ever, how would you use your resources and your voice? It's high concept and high stakes.
Is this gonna be our lives now? Fighting our own employees, our own clients? Are we really gonna do any good?
Conviction sets our leads up against the value of compromise. If they can't compromise, their client, who is a powerful mage, will destroy California. And they also have to deal with a staff full of enemies in a place where treachery is rewarded with promotion.
Now you could take your new client list and start hacking away from the top down. A lot of our clients are demons, and almost all of them are evil. You could shut this place down, but the place closes down, the connections dry up, evil goes next door.
With this new environment comes new players. Eve, interfering liaison to the firm's unseen senior partners. Wesley's second, elderly magicking academic, Rutherford Cirque. Lauren's go-getting assistant. And Fred's clingy underling, Knox. And the jewel amongst this new cast is Mercedes McNabb reprising her role as soulless vampire Harmony. Picked out by Wesley as Angel's assistant, Harmony can't fight her nature, dim and desperate. McNabb brings top energy to the role and is hilarious with it. The biggest turn comes with Street Fighter Gunn, played by J. August Richards. Originally dressed in cloth cap and Street Fighter garb, and expecting to be head of security, he is seduced by the firm into a neuro upgrade which gives him a comprehensive knowledge of human and demon laws.
Get ready to feel the power of attorney!
The story of conviction has barely settled when Spike appears. Spike is a combo of James Dean and all the Sex Pistols, sporting a Billy Idol look. The Buffy breakout character, Spike was psychologically sired by Angel from 1880. A murdering, nefarious thorn in his side, Spike recently became ensouled, died, and is now resurrected as a ghost, anchored to Angel and Wolfram and Hart.
Or maybe Captain Forehead was feeling a little less special. Didn't like me crashing his exclusive club. Another vampire with a soul in the world.
You're not in the world, Casper.
James Marsters is a great body performance comic. The sibling rivalry between him and David Boreanaz's Angel is a full-on testosterone off. A grand pissing match with a homoerotic subtext, and the two actors have phenomenal chemistry. For long-time Buffyverse fans, it's a delicious turning of the tables. The hero Angel has seemingly joined the forces of darkness, and the born-again rebel Spike unwittingly becomes his conscience.
I know you, Angel. What do you think you're doing? Made some devil's bargain to take over this company. Thought you'd use it to fight the evil of the world from inside the belly of the beast. Trouble is, you're too busy fighting to see you and yours are getting digested.
Just Rewards, written by David Fury and Ben Edlund, follows the firm's supply contract for corpses to go to a shareholder who is a necromancer. Under pressure from Angel, the necromancer turns to Spike, and the deal looks pretty juicy.
Bloody well toasted and ghosted is what I get, innit? It's just not fair.
Fair? You asked for his soul. I didn't. It almost killed me. I spent 100 years trying to come to terms with infinite remorse. You spent 3 weeks moaning in a basement, and then you were fine. What's fair about that?
Unleashed is written by Sarah Fain and Elizabeth Craft, co-producers of FX's The Shield and future showrunners on Dollhouse. It's a low-level domestic drama pivoting around Nina, just bitten by a werewolf, and Angel and Fred, who provide her with guidance and protection. The subtext is about our uncontrollable aspects, the inevitability of circumstances. In Angel and Nina are there parallels as monsters negotiating separation. Although Nina's story follows a more holistic path, the heroes are falling back on their old ways of confrontation. So it's about trust and responsibility too. And we have the core group holding secret meetings off the Wolfram and Hart premises, variously failing and turning on one another. And there's also the continuation of the Spike subplot, with him asking Fred to keep secret his absent states of vanishing.
I'm slipping.
What?
Don't want to go. But it's like the ground underneath me is splitting open. And my legs are straddling both sides of this bloody big chasm.
Fred is the only person at Wolfram and Hart that Spike likes. In the teaser to Hellbound by Stephen D. Knight, he's learning of the Shanshu prophecy, a text which states a vampire with a soul will play a key part in the apocalypse and regain his humanity. He's musing on this right before he's dragged to the basement and visions of devilish apparitions. There's formidable horror lighting and an audio doom as we follow Spike's torment and Fred's race to make him corporeal. Behind the haunting is an old-timey mass murderer, a sort of waste disposal demon 200 years old, and Spike is forced to confront his own legacy as a killer. Spike realizes he's a hero, but also he's damned.
The things we did, the lives we destroyed, that's all it's ever gonna count. So yeah, surprise. You're going to hell. We both are.
Lorne, originally called the Host in Season 2, appeared as a recurring character since then and quickly grew as a fan favourite to his lead cast status, which was naturally demanded. He lives to walk the tightrope of compromise, mingling among humans and demons in a non-violent, party-bringing atmosphere. Weary, but an optimist nonetheless, be it talking or singing. Wolfram and Hart has brought whole new stresses for Lorne, the latest being the Halloween party, a chance for employees to have some fun and a lavish sweetener for their clients. It's the biggest event in the company calendar, but nobody is coming. They've all been driven off by Angel's corporate social responsibility agenda. Those damn social justice warriors, they won't let us feast on newborns or drink diarrhea or anything. It's health and safety gone mad.
It's the Halloween blowout to end all blowouts. Last year, they took a bunch of cows and put them in this giant wicker effigy of Krishna, doused it with Sambuca, and
Directed by Bill Norton, written by Ben Edlund, the exploration of Lorne's psychological work pressures takes centre stage in Life of the Party. The show is at its best doing comedy, and this is a laugh a minute. It's every great party tale, one of Mutant Enemy's classic fun jaunts.
Hey there, Devlin. So, what are you supposed to be?
You no get? A human being.
Angel the series ran during that golden age of HBO shows. Writers confront with story arcs, how only soap opera had previously been allowed to do this ongoing continuity thing. And yet the mighty have balls these up from the sacred Twin Peaks in its second season to X-Files, Lost, got lost. There was Battlestar Redactica, and Angel's previous season, season 4, dropped the ball to a puncture. Now, long-running stories in comic books and soaps condition us to expect tides and ebbs of quality. Paid creatives more than audiences are comfortable working with familiar status quos. Standalones demand much more of a writer who has to build a story's context, environment, and media from the ground up. There's an alternative to driving a long story by dominant arcs in Angel Season 5. George Gerbner and Larry Gross posited that media asserts itself not by some cookie injection of mind control, but by messages appearing like droplets or seeds, by cultivation over time. Cultivation theory assumes the medium is unique. It shapes how we think and relate to one another, and its effects are growing or diminishing in sway with larger society and culture. This informs the external structure of Angel Series 5, as well as the internal character development. One such seeding is number 5, Wolfram and Hart's silent, masked mailman. When an accidental conflict arises with number 5, it exposes how much Angel and Lorne have already been changed by their time at the firm.
That's not the hubbub I'm hearing, honey buns. Word on the web has you sucker punching Grandpa Moses. The web? Don't sweat it, sweetie pie. I've got my flag catcher spinning this into PR gold. And once the word spreads that you beat up an innocent old man, well, the truly terrible will think twice before going toe-to-toe with our avenging angel.
Yes, the geriatric community will be soiling their nappies when they hear you're on the case.
Jeffrey Bell's episode, The Cautionary Tale of Numero Cinco, is, despite cultivation, pure formulaic episode. Well, that's the point of it after all, but it's Marmite to fans. It pushes Angel's key themes of Angel, the sole survivor guilt, the burden of a hero who feels they have retired, a person who feels time has not remembered their life, nor learned from the examples of his heart. It's illustrated by a contemporary folk tale of sun patterns and of recurring battles, which form a micro-epic or myth cycle. I quite like that one.
¿Sí? Hermanos! The devil has built a robot! Fire!
The way out approach to episode formula serves to keep Angel, show, and character here from getting too cozy with preconceptions and to keep on mission. Goddard and Kibbe's Lineage is Cinco's inverse. The formula is over-expository, monotrope, and the themes of luxury and corruption are on the nose. Yet by arc seeding, as opposed to arc prime, it offers a view of the world outside the echo chamber, namely that Wolfram and Hart doesn't contain just internal threats, but external ones. Former allies no longer trust our point of view characters. It's about knowing the good and the charm in the bad and neutral, about being able to identify the environment using the moral compass. I said monotrope, and it is. A family member comes to visit, they turn out to be evil, yada yada yada. That said, it's a popular episode and I have warmed to it over time. Wesley's relationship with his father and those difficulties have been explored since the character's earliest appearances. As opening up and bringing closure to that thread, it succeeds. Roy Dotrice as Wesley's father is captivating to watch. His presence changing the gravity of every scene he's in. The relative gravity. See what I did there? Skip Skulnick directs Destiny, written by Fury and The Knight, where all the compasses go full Bermuda Triangle. A mysterious package is opened, unleashing a potential apocalypse, and turning ghost Spike corporeal along with his priorities, getting laid and getting away.
I just went to the White Room to see what the big cat had to say.
And?
Cat's gone.
Gone?
The White Room, too. Elevator just opened up into a howling abyss. You ever heard a howling abyss? Terrible sound.
Destiny is a major eruption in the Angel-Spike relationship. By now we know the Angel-Spike relationship is analogous to an earthquake fault line, and episode 8 commits to it fully. For good measure, there are flashbacks to their 19th century vampire gang. We're treated to their first meeting, showing Angel, then Angelus, unsouled, physically torturing Spike. Guest stars are welcome in Julie Benz as Darla and Juliet Landau as Drusilla, Spike's siren lover, and 99p short of a quid. Veteran British actor Michael Hastley makes another overdue reappearance as Wesley's assistant, Rutherford Cirque. Cirque discovers a link between the unfolding catastrophes of possession and violent assault and Spike's corporealization. A reading of the Divine Vampire Saves the World Shanshu prophecy points to an ancient grail, drinking from the cup will end the end of the world. From there, it's a race for Spike and Angel to each prove they are the one. And the apocalypse is a B story. They are the eye of the hurricane. Their resentment is unleashed in a 10-minute full-on bloody face-off. The conclusion serves to expose how David Boreanaz's Angel has become increasingly shallow and selfish. Mostly it's as good as it gets on the writing theory, the characters' conflict. Make-believe, blood sport fun. Well realised.
We have a zero-tolerance policy for killing, and that includes you, vampires. That better be pig's blood, mister.
The firm is hosting a peace conference for demon clans. Harm's Way, according to TV tropes, is a day in the limelight. A light-styled episode following a background character. Harmony's Day gives us a working stiff's view of Wolfram and Hart. A soulless, bloodlusting undead gal in the big city doing her best until she's implicated in a murder that she has no memory of. And she may be the CEO's PA, but she's still just a rung on a ladder. And Angel investigations are wary of her. Harmony's Way is bad luck. Angel treats her like shit, as does her former partner Spike, who walks out on her. She's passed over for promotion. She should be Christina Hendricks in Mad Men. But try as she might, Harmony just can't get a break.
Harmony, got us a camel.
Like I said, I did a lot of research. Camel meat's a delicacy, so I thought it would be a great way to kick off the summit because of the clans being so uptight. Like, comfort food.
Comfort food.
Under director Vern Gillam and returning writer team Craft and Fane, Harm's Way is another great comedy episode and a dramatic whodunit. There's nice treats for older fans in Soul Purpose as corporeal Spike meets his secret benefactor and is manipulated into becoming an Angel Year One Avenger, a street-level solo hero right before Wolfram and Hart agents Wesley and Gunn visit to talk him out of his heroism.
If you want to save the world, we've got the resources to help you do it.
No offense, Mr. Vader, but I've got no itch to join the evil empire.
It's different. You know it. We've changed things.
The A-plot explores how the job has gotten to the group, a collective attitude shift. They've gone from Spider-Man to the Punisher. It's told primarily through the eyes of Chairman Angel. Lead, David Boreanaz directs, and Lost's Brent Fletcher writes. So in the episode we get Angel's fever dreams of dissection and soul jealousy, of being devoured. There's great visuals throughout and entertaining surface level symbolism. It's as first person narrative as this show has gotten, exploring what Angel's curse of a soul means to him in light of Spike's existence. The addition of the commanding James Marsters to a stable ensemble with a refreshed format, it did make me wonder if that was a good direction to go in. Most likely spin-off Spike dominates Series 5. Damage by DeKnight and Goddard dares to challenge his cool, dominant amiability. The lone street hero and CEO Angel each show up to a psych ward to learn about Dana. She's an escapee, seemingly possessed by a demon, but in fact a young woman subjected to institutional abuse. And there's another layer too.
You think this is a joke?
Only if you're the punchline.
Look, we're the last two people that should be confronting her. She's a slayer.
Spike gets closest to Dana and becomes the face of her monsters. The episode explores the narrative of victim to survivor and what we basically need to survive. The subtext is on confronting what you are and knowing there's some causes, some jobs that you're just not equipped to deal with. Director Kibbe gives a cine-noir psych horror with flash cuts and an unsettling colour palette. There are firm questions about the redemption of people who are habitually immoral.
For a demon, I never did think that much about the nature of evil.
Around the time that Damage aired, news came through of the show's cancellation. Though it came in time for writing adjustments to be made for the rest of the series, the production of Angel's 100th episode must have been bittersweet. The despondency the cast and crew must have felt can be interpreted as the scene on screen in the opener to that 100th episode.
I can't do this anymore.
Do what?
Any of this. Living with it. Running Wolfram and Hart. I quit.
A further twist comes when the powers that be and the senior partners make good on their agreement, delivering their comatose teammate Cordelia back into the world. Charisma Carpenter brings a zest to the group darkness, but it's not too long before she too is questioning their devil's bargain with the House of Pain.
So where's Connor?
Who?
And Spike is also questioning his place in the world, with contrast between his recovery and Cordelia's. Writer-director David Fury, as you'd expect for a 100th episode, delivers a hefty dose of fan service here, full of delicious year one cake. The story involves Spike's benefactor, a disenfranchised ex-employee who plots a hostile takeover, throwing Spike, Angel Investigations, and the senior partners into a spin. Blooming the seeding tactic, You're Welcome is a rare cultivation and culmination, a mostly full arc in 42 minutes. It brings to a head the trust, the doubt, the paranoia. It's fun and appealing, working out themes of power, performance, status, identity, and role in a big, classic, choreographed sword fight. A little posturing, yes, but great structure. Another crossover from FX's The Shield is Terence O'Hara, directing Goddard and DeKnight's tragic tale of naval engineer Sam Lawson. Here, a threat from long ago arrives in modern times in a fairly dull framing device, it's got to be said. But the picture itself is another matter. One of this part of the series' standouts. It's 1943, and an SS submarine in the Atlantic is packed with US troops imprisoned by super nasty heebie-jeebies. The feds draft Angel into helping out and sink him to the bottom of the ocean. There, he finds an old demon unaware of his soul curse, Spike, with a swastika on his arm.
You're a Nazi.
What? Oh, no. I just ate one.
There's also an eccentric cast of shipmates rich in comic potential. It's a story of a tragic past and a regret of sacrifices. A mini blockbuster type thriller with tangible tension, pitting World War II's good versus bad against Angel's world of greys. It's about what we remember, what we know, and as per the title, why we fight. As good as this is, it doesn't hold a candle to the next one. A genuine shared pop culture moment. Ben Edlund directs and co-writes with Joss, Three Shows Whedon, one of Mutant Enemy's best, Smile Time, aka the puppet episode.
We'll discover them together.
When Angel follows a trail of serial child killers, he finds Muppets possessed by demons, and the corporate puppet is himself turned into one made out of felt.
Cute.
Fred, don't.
Oh, but the little hands and the hair.
Hey, you're fired.
The concept, Evil Sesame Street, is brought to life by a half-dozen Henson puppeteers. So unsurprisingly, the production is first-rate and spawned a toy line. The puppets are adorable, their behavioural direction full of character and animation. For Angel, it presents a dozen complexes from his grip on power to basic self-esteem and composure. Smile Time was nominated for a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation, and it was well earned. And it doesn't stop with the letter A plot. We reprise the conditions of Angel's gypsy curse and how a moment of pure happiness can return him to a remorseless butcher. We focus on Lawyer Gunn, whose legal brain upgrade has begun to fail, and how he feels less like a man. And we're treated to not one but two cultivated, culminated romantic subplots. Edlund and Whedon go to town, giving us the series' nastiest, weirdest villains.
We eat babies' lives!
And uphold a certain standard of quality edutainment.
Screw edutainment.
Demons, vampires, zombies, puppets. The point is made. Next time I'll examine the writing and directorial choices leading to the dynamic final 8-episode arc and one of the greatest last episodes ever to grace TV. I'll also be taking a deeper look at the critical texts surrounding those episodes. I'd like to invite you to like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know down below your insights from these first 15 episodes. Go check out my Discworld podcast. I've never read Discworld. I'd like to say thank you to all my sponsors, their names now appearing on screen, particularly Artemy Krondatyev, Arslan Hyder Ali, and Ian Lawther. My Patreon has loads of cool stuff on it, not just previews, but also prose, comics, loads of stuff that I've made myself as a multi-platform media creator guy. Just go and sign a check, please. Let's get this contract down. And I'll see you in a little while for part 2.
Woof.